Let us turn to God in prayer. Beloved God, open our hearts to your healing word, our minds to your informing word, our souls to your renewing word. May we be strengthened to live out your love in word and deed. Amen. Our first lesson is from Hebrews 11, chapter 11, verse 8 through 16, which can be found in your Pew Bible on page 1096. As the name suggests, the letter to the Hebrews was written to Christians who still identified with the Jewish faith. Among the many practical questions Hebrews addressed is this: what does Jesus' ministry mean for all God's people who lived and died before him? And what does the gospel mean for all those we read about in the Old Testament? Listen for how God's faithfulness is seen in unexpected ways. By faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to set out for a place that he was to receive as an inheritance. And he set out not knowing where he was going. By faith, he stayed for a time in the land he had been promised, as in a foreign land, living in tents, as did Isaac and Jacob, who were heirs with him in the same promise. For he looked forward to the city that has foundations, whose architect and builder is God. By faith, he received power of procreation, even though he was too old, and Sarah herself was barren, because he considered himself faithful who had promised. Therefore, from one person, and this one as good as dead, descendants were born, as many as the stars of heaven and as the innumerable grains of sand by the seashore. All of these died in faith without having received the promises, but from a distance they saw and greeted them. They confessed that they were strangers and foreigners on the earth. For people who speak in this way make it clear that they are seeking a homeland. If they have been thinking of the land that they had left behind, they would have had opportunity to return. But as it is, they desire a better country, that is, a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God. Indeed, he has prepared a city for them. God always blesses the reading of the word.